Good.
Actually.
Yep, you're set. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Member Spotlight. This is a time where we try and focus on one of our members and learn a little bit more about them, and maybe also learn some things that we might not have known about them, even though we are used to seeing them at shul, whether it be in this case maybe around the gift shop or in the sanctuary. So I have Margie Schneider, who's going to be our spotlight today. Margie, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you, Rabbi. How are you doing?
Good, good. It's another day, and just trying to make it through each day at a time.
Exactly.
Yes. So I wanted to start and see if you want to just give a little introduction to yourself. Just tell us a couple things about yourself, and just share with people in case they haven't had the privilege and honor to really spend some time with you.
Okay. Well, I have been a Temple of Aaron member all my life, all of 70 years. My family was always a Temple of Aaron family. And when Bart and I got married 31 and a half years ago, he became a member of Temple of Aaron also. I went all the way through religious school. I didn't attend Hebrew school, but I went all the way through religious school and had confirmation. Both our daughters have had a bat mitzvah with Temple of Aaron, and I was a St. Paul Schools, public schools teacher for 30 odd years before retiring. Upon retirement, I was immediately asked to do the toddler parent program at Temple of Aaron, so I had fun doing that for a number of years, and now I'm all the way retired.
Very nice. And what grade did you teach in school, in public school?
Most of my career was kindergarten.
Oh, fun.
Yep. And the last 25 years or so, I was in the same neighborhood, which was very nice. Got to know families very well, and multiple children and families, even one grandchild of someone. So it was a lot of fun.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, kindergarten's a fun age. Aria is approaching there, a year and a
Mhm.
half now, or a year. Next August will be just being ready to send her to kindergarten. So that's something that's exciting on the horizon for us on this end.
Yes, I'm sure it is very much so. Your daycare costs will go down considerably.
Yes, yes, for sure. And so, you, as you said, you're a lifer to Temple of Aaron. So you've been able to see lots of different things that have happened there over the years. So maybe one or two highlights, maybe one from your childhood, and maybe one more recently. Just some of your fondest memories from Temple of Aaron.
Well, I would say from my childhood, I have two fond memories, and then I'll think of one from my adulthood. When Temple of Aaron at its site that it's at now was new, I was in first grade, just starting first grade, and at that time we did consecration in first grade, and I had a dress that was the same beautiful mauve color that the carpets are now, and I matched it. That's a memory that I have, and then one of my best memories was being in the USY musical as a senior. We did our musicals in Hebrew back then, and I was Goldie and Fiddler on the Roof when I was a senior in high school with USY.
Oh, wow.
I think as an adult now, my fondest memory is as soon as I retired, becoming active in sisterhood, and now continuing on to be president, and making many more Jewish friends than I had ever had before that. We didn't grow up in an all Jewish neighborhood. And in my career, I didn't run across a lot of other Jewish teachers, teaching, but in retirement, then, making all the friends I have at synagogue with sisterhood and beyond.
Wow. Yeah, that's really amazing. And you guys, Sisterhood does a lot of great things. It's been fantastic to see all the different programming. And as we were alluding to before we got on recording, it's been hard to see, not seeing the same sort of things, being able to walk by. I know walking by on like Sundays or on Wednesdays for me, and just popping my head into the gift shop just to say hello. And that's something that, it's tough not to have.
It is.
On.
And Zoom doesn't quite make it in that regard, because I miss the hugs, and like you said earlier before this was recorded, the smiles. I miss that very, very much. Kind of a touchy-feely kind of person, and
right. Yeah, for sure. And that's a great segue sort of to the next question, is that a lot of us are missing lots of different things right now, right? And I think, you said, and, the hugs and the even being able just to be close to one another and even just that. And, those are some of the things that I think we expect probably, like when we heard and realized the new reality that was stuff that we were going to expect to sort of miss out on.
Yes.
But is there anything that is surprising that you are missing right now? Is there something that you maybe
I'm
almost?
surprised at how much I miss coming to services on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
It has become, again, something fairly new in my life to be a regular, fairly regular Shabbat attendee. And I can't believe how much I have missed that. Being in the sanctuary with everybody and participating in services, often being a gabbai, and then the social time afterwards at lunch. I do really miss that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think all of us really do, and that's something that has been really difficult to be living through and having to experience. As you said, it's great to try and be creative and pop on two boxes essentially like this and talk to one another, but it's not the same sort of feel as it was. And as you said, like Shabbat for sure, that aspect. My last Shabbat that we had actually was the one right before I left for APAC, because I was actually off the first week in March. And so I had not been to a Shabbat service since the end of February, as how it sort of used to be. And I never, when I, Motzi Shabbos got on that plane to head to APAC, didn't think that was going to be sort of my last Saturday morning experience for a while. And
we were kind of in the same boat. We went to APAC also, and I think we might have attended, I don't know, one more after that or two more after that. I can't remember for sure. And never expecting, after being with 18,000 people at APAC, that it would have been such a big deal, because we could have all gotten sick so easily if it had been 2 weeks later or anything like that.
Yeah, that was the thing. And that flight back from DC was also just an experience. As I tell people, that was like the last real major thing obviously I did, and I had a middle seat going there and coming back, so that's something that's very different to think about. But yeah, it's missing Shabbat and leaving, and now looking back in hindsight and realizing that was my last Shabbat before everything changed is sort of crazy to think.
I'll tell you, we would have been in England right now. We
Wow.
had a big trip planned to the British Isles, and we would probably be coming home in a couple of days from that trip. And it was a cruise, and so we canceled. And
right. Yes, we have already canceled other trips that we were supposed to take, and a cruise for Aria's birthday in January. And so yeah, it's kind of just nuts how the world has become upside down. And with the world being upside down, we each, with all this sort of being in different states of being in our homes for longer than expected, we all have either binge watched something potentially on Netflix, or finished a series of books, or even made some maybe wacky or purchases that we might not have expected to buy if we were not spending all this time at home. So is there anything that you've really a movie or a TV series that you've watched that you hadn't watched before, or maybe you rewatched? And is there any sort of wacky or strange purchase that you made that you probably would not have made had you not been spending so much time at home?
I don't think I had any wacky or strange purchases. I really haven't done hardly any shopping online. And in person, it's just groceries and toilet paper and things like that. But we have been binge watched quite a few series. We watch it like every night for a while until we're done. Right. And right now, we just started watching Schneider, and I'm enjoying that a lot. And we've been watching a Spanish series called Money Heist, which is really very funny. And we've watched a ton of British murder mystery type shows. One of them that we just finished was Unforgotten, and it was about a team that solves very old cold cases when they come across the remains of a body, and then they try to go back and identify who it is and figure the whole thing out. It was very interesting, very, very good.
I think I've seen that one. I can't remember. If it's been around for a while, I don't know. But it sounds like something. See, April and I did the same thing when we moved back to Los Angeles. is before either of us was working or doing anything, we had some time and we were living with my aunt and uncle. And we went through, I think, something like Unforgotten, or maybe it was Unforgotten. We also went through Sherlock, the series. And so, yeah, but we've done a lot of, April's been trying to, when I'm not around, because I'm not a huge fan of this, just not because I didn't grow up with it, but she grew up with Little House on the Prairie. So
Mhm.
she's been trying to watch a lot of that whenever she can. And
Mhm.
myself, I've been trying to find, I like sort of documentaries and different things like that. So I watch a lot. I've been watching a lot of them. Netflix is great for, passing the time and giving you recommendations.
It is, and I'm very thankful for it. And I also am an avid reader. I always have been, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I probably have read more than I usually do, because none of the same activities that are in place that I can do. I can't do my different volunteer jobs. I can't do most of my, I'm still doing some sisterhood stuff, but not in person. And so there's more time to read, there's more time to watch TV. I'm enjoying the outdoors. I'm going for a walk every day outside, whereas I would probably still be going into the JCC if this all hadn't happened. So that's a nice plus, to be walking outside.
Yeah, that is really nice.
We
And
enjoy that a lot. We walk down by the river a lot,
oh, that's
which
that's
is very
fantastic.
nice.
That is fantastic, and especially when you get weather that it cooperates and stays
Yes,
cool and a little less humid.
yes,
um,
exactly.
and then, so as you said, you sort of during these times, if you're an avid reader, maybe you just become more of one. Are there any other hobbies or skills that you sort of leaned into, or did you maybe try and pick up a new one that you, since you've had?
Sadly, no. I would have to say, sadly, no. I have not picked up a new. I'm not a craftsy kind of person, or anything like that. We do a little bit of gardening, but since we moved to our townhome, there's not too much of a garden plot there, and we didn't really change anything up too much there. So I would say no on that one.
Yeah. But reading, reading is a big hobby, and it seems like you sort of leaned into that one a little bit more, and that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the last book that you finished?
So one of the last books that I finished was there were two books by the same author, and now I can't remember her name, but the last one was called The Adventures of the Shergill Sisters. And the woman who has written these two books is a Pakistani English person, a person who lives in England but is of Pakistani background. And the last one, The Adventures of the Shergill Sisters, this mother dies. The father had died a while before, and she leaves this whole book practically for her three daughters about what they should do after she dies. And she wants them to go back to their homeland and go through these different steps of visiting all these different shrines and things, and then scatter her ashes someplace. And they're really quite funny, but poignant, about mother-daughter relationships and sister relationships and things like that. Very,
Wow.
very good.
That sounds very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, I have not been picking up too many new books, but still trying to learn. But I've actually been able to get through magazines. One of my major things that I did is I subscribed to magazines, and then after about a month or two of having the subscription, I sort of fall behind and
And
don't
there's stacks.
keep up, and it just stacks up. But now it's actually been a time where I've been able to actually get through them and sort of read my GQ or my other sports ones, which I've not had so much to talk about, but now it looks like we might have a little bit more. But yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
I just wanted to tell you, I just remembered the name of the first novel. It's a very funny title. It's called Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows.
Oh, there you go. That would be an interesting one.
And that was pretty funny also.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, great.
Yes.
Well, Margie, thank you for being on the Member Spotlight. Thank you for agreeing to do this, and for letting us learn a little bit more about you, if people might not have known, and also to sort of see, what, of course, the uncertain time has caused, and how you've been sort of dealing with it, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.